All right, guys. Hey, how y'all doing? Just wanted to talk in this video a little bit about myself and my journey is kind of how I got started and where things kind of shifted for me. So, if you don't know, I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, down south in the boot. Pretty hot down here, but good time, man. The food is awesome. So, if you hit a hype, it's true. It's definitely true. I was very observant as a kid, very ambitious, outgoing. I think I had the introverted slash extroverted personality, so a little bit of combination of both for sure. I know, when it came to finances and kind of getting into real estate, I'm not sure the drive that some of you guys may have heard, but for me, it was definitely go to school, get a job. Entrepreneurship I'm not going to say it wasn't really talked about as much, right? It was more so of hey, you got to go to school, get your education, go to college, and so forth. And if we fast forward through life, just been hearing that, and that's the narrative that's painted. That's all fine and dandy. I think my parents, as well as maybe the rest of some of you parents, wanted what's best, for their kids and everything like that. And I'm pretty sure if you're a parent right now, you want what's best for your child, right? Or your children. So as we fast forward a little bit, going through working and things of that nature, school, work, college, all that good stuff, what kind of got me always sparked my interest in real estate was just that, you see these shows on HGTV where they talk about, oh, hey, I'm flipping this property, and you see the properties and they make it look so good, so fun, they laughing, not stressing. They don't ever talk about the financials a lot, but it's always, oh, I got to get this done, and they always run into an issue, but somehow it always gets resolved and stuff like that. And so, thinking about that, but then no one tells you exactly, how do I get the money to do this? Or how can I get started? Or when you do start, you're excited to say, okay, I'm ready to buy a house. It's like, what's the first steps? Like, there's no one there to kind of teach you. You can read this and that, but they don't tell you the loopholes and the things that, or I'm not going to say that they're shortcuts, but they don't tell you the things that can really help you progress or speed the process up to get things going. So what helped me realize where I think the game may have been rigged was basically, hey, trying to buy a property, realizing that as you buy properties in your name, it's like, man, they want all these documents and stuff after, buying my first home and stuff like that. And it's like, man, this is exhausting. There's got to be a better way. And so what had me wanting to scale, and look, I procrastinated a lot, right? So if you don't know, I wanted to get in real estate in 2013, and then I spent 4 years sitting on the sideline trying to figure out what's the next steps, what should I do, how to roll, and so forth, up until about 2017 when I first started one of my LLCs, and I still didn't do anything until about a year and a half or so later. And then even when I was buying property, I was still buying it in my personal name. It never started for me to even start using my LLC until after my fourth deal. And that's when it kind of dawned on me like, hey, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way to doing this and so forth. And so when I got, after that deal, that's when I say, hey, I kind of slowed down. Started, let's not put the cart before the horse. Started doing a lot more research. I started networking, looking, whether it be social media, going to meetups, just having conversations with different people in the industry, whether it was realtors, whether it was lenders, whether it was contractors, whether it was fellow investors, just being around people in the industry, seeing the different sides, appraisers, insurance agents, just to get that natural flow of conversation and understanding, but also hearing the perspective. So that's really what got me focused and gave me a wide variety of kind of getting a better understanding of, hey, there's an easier way to do it, because you hear about these people that got 100 doors, 220, 500 doors and all this stuff. And it's like, man, how can you buy that many houses at once? And it's like, oh, wait, there is a method. There's a science to it. And so one of the things I made early on was that I was buying properties in my name. I was using my own money, my own savings, and I ran out. I quickly ran out of money. I realized that, hey, I can't keep going. And then, hey, I'd had this magical thing. You buy one rental property and it's going to cash flow, and then that's going to pay all your bills. And it doesn't happen, because then you have the mortgage, the insurance, the taxes, the expenses, the maintenance, the vacancies. You got all these things that factor in that you don't account for when you get that property, as if, oh yeah, that one property is going to pay for everything and I'm going to be able to quit work and do all these great things, right? And so that backfired, right? So I had to learn that. Well, that backfired, and I had to learn that the hard way, right? So got hosted very quickly. And then when you tap out, you run out of cash. It's like, well, what you going to do? You're trying to scale, you're trying to do things and so forth. And so that's what really had helped me change my narrative and start moving in the right direction. Where I think I won big was just by taking the first step. So for me, making that first step, just getting going, starting out, getting the first deal going, that was the first step. If you always put one foot forward, you're always moving, you're not complacent, or you're not being stagnant. So keep that in mind. So I always believed just stay moving, right? And that's it. That's one of the biggest concepts, and that was my biggest win, I think, personally. When I did my first cash out refi, or I did a refi, I'm not even going to say I did a refinance because the property had appreciated. That's when I was like, whoa, there's really a method to it, and it got me into the burst strategy and kind of really emphasizing that, hey, I could really scale this thing. And then looking at getting some insight to using private money or the non-traditional money, because with the banks, they wanted so many docs, this and that. And then when I did my first privately funded deal, man, the fact that I was able to buy the property within 10 days, the fact that I did not have to sign over, I feel like so many different docs, that really kind of promoted me into saying, okay, hey, I need to figure this out. And then learning how to access the capital once I learned that, hey, what lenders are looking for. And then I figured out about how important credit is. Hey, having a high income is absolutely valuable, right? I don't want to take that away. Having a good, high, successful income is definitely very, very important. However, your credit profile and how you position it makes it better. And so then as I went through buying properties, as I'm learning, I made a lot of mistakes, right? Maxing out cards too early, trying to liquidate cards too early, obviously not leveraging other people's money to scale my portfolio. And so I went through these bumps and bruises of being, okay, I'm on a trend stop, to figuring out this processing that I have now and a system that's worked, right? Because I've optimized it, and this is a system that works. And very excited about that. So as I talk to more people and as I begin to have success, as I'm fine-tuning the system that I'm using today and that I'm willing to share, I always wanted to help other people or individuals, right? And as I talk to, I noticed that there's other investors, other people just in real estate, business owners. There's a lot of crazy things that go on in this world, unfortunately. And like I said, it's tough out here for a lot of people. And so we all are the same in that, and we fighting the daily struggle or the daily grind to get ahead. And so that's why I created this system to help other people and started wanting to share because of the impacts it had for me with being successful in real estate. With a lot of people, I think a lot of people out here talk about funding, credit, real estate, but I think there's a lot of misunderstanding sometimes, right? Is that you need money first or you need a perfect profile and stuff like that. And they underestimate that it's a structure and it's about sequence, right? A lot of people, when they focus on credit repair, they overpromise and underdeliver. And then there's a lot of shortcuts or gimmicks that probably just don't work, honestly. With the system that I've developed and what's going to help most people, and where I've seen a lot of people that work with me and my clients, is that it's the blend of the education and the done for you, but it's also very flexible and it adapts to both someone with bad credit as well as people who have a very high or good credit score, because the score matters, the income matters, and like I said, whether you have a bad score or a lower score versus a high score, so you have 580 compared to 780, you both can be denied, and that's the difference. Whereas the system that we used and developed, it's a balance between the two. One of the things that as I kind of mentioned a little while ago, is just about helping people. It's a benefit and it's a blessing, right? it's a benefit and it's a blessing to be in a position to help people as well as helping yourselves. And like I said, we're stronger together as a team, and there's enough out here for everyone. So once I had proof that this system worked and that it was helping so many people, I mean, look, it really enlightened my spirit, to be in a position to help others, and give back to one another so that way we all can get ahead and move forward and help people achieve their goals or aspirations or whatnot. And that's what this program is about. And that's what the system does, to help people scale so you can avoid making the hard mistakes that people before me, the people I've made. And look, you're not going to be perfect. There are going to be things that happen, but having a proven system that works, understanding the sequencing and the timing, all that makes the experience more efficient. As I got more into developing a system and creating a system, there's a lot of people that's in the same space. And like I said, I say false prophets because there's a lot of people that maybe the intentions are good, but the execution is maybe incorrect. So you want to help people along, and some people may not be doing the right things for the right reasons. And that's one of the things I stand on, is doing the right things for the right reasons, because I want to help people. And that's where I kind of draw the line at. And that's my obvious, hey, we got to make sure that we help people win. It's not about getting quick wins. It's about being efficient so that way we put people in the best position to succeed. And that's what we do at Capital Unlimited. Some of the things that I believe in is that, look, I believe in honesty and transparency, right? I believe in accountability, and that's what we try to work with all our clients. Look, we want full transparency. We are going to hold each other accountable because, look, hey, we're doing the work for you, but hey, you gotta maintain it, because it doesn't matter what we do if we don't maintain it, right? So we gotta hold our clients accountable to make sure that we ensure their continued success, and that way we have the efficiency. At this point, this system may not be for everyone. If you're looking for instant gratification, if you want results without responsibility, if you got a mindset that you're not ready, or it's okay. This program, this system may not be for you. We definitely want good energy people. We want people that's excited and that want to better themselves and about changing their position, actually being in control of their situation. So that's what Capital Unlimited is about. That's a little bit about me. I hope to see you guys inside and talk to you soon.